Hi, I'm Brandon. I love Hallmark Valentine's movies.
I'm Brian, and I like Hallmark Valentine's movies.
I'm Dan, and I despise Hallmark Valentine's movies. And this is the Deck the Hallmark podcast.
God bless. Deck the Hallmark. It's his podcast.
Brandon and friends host this podcast.
We hope you like this jolly podcast.
Yes. Hello, everybody. Happy Tuesday to ya.
Already feels like a good day today,
It's
Brandon.
feeling like a really good day, everybody.
Ready to go.
Really
Everybody's ready.
exciting week. It's not every week that we're gonna get a Bri Guy for a double movie feature.
Double dose of Bri Guy this week.
People have been asking.
We got you double dose last week, but that was pre.
This is all in your lawyer stuff. Like, we can't afford you. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like, occasionally you'll give us a break.
Yeah,
And be
once
like,
in a while.
I'll throw you guys a bone.
Well, holidays are over
Yeah,
for
yeah.
you guys,
That's right.
unfortunately.
Yeah.
Hey guys. I want to bring in Rig really quickly because I found I was
you actually listen to the podcast
hold on.
from time
So
to time, huh?
no, what I mean is
Good
last
for you,
week.
producer man.
Last week
You
when
get a
we-
producer and you're like, I don't
producer
have to
hat.
listen anymore. I'm a hack. I'm just going to tell everybody I'm a hack. Wear a hack t-shirt. Here's my hack shirt.
Heck shot.
Yeah, that
Jim
green.
Duggan.
That green. Last week when we were doing the Wing Calls to Heart episode, Rig, you told us that you were on sabbatical in Barbados. Is that ringing any
Yeah,
bells?
Barbados. Barb, adios. I said adios to Barb and came on down here.
Nah, I don't think you should.
Yeah, Barb and I called it quits.
So
a month in
Oh,
Barbados.
sorry to hear that. Oh,
So
You shouldn't be.
you told us
snored.
you told Brian, this is probably news to you because you weren't on that episode, but he's on
shocked.
sabbatical. He's taking the month off from all of his duties, is what he said. And I just want an update on
Duty-free.
how that's going. Duty free in Barbados. How's that going, Rick?
Yeah, no taxes down here at all. And also, like, things are going great. I'm a little bit on delay, which is coincidentally what I say to the folks to bring me some drinks.
On delay.
On delay. How do you think that's going for me?
I wouldn't again.
I think you're going to be on sabbatical from Barbados soon.
Adios. That's all
yeah.
that matters.
When do you get back?
Never. Just kidding. March 1st.
Oh wow. Okay.
Is it hot
Be back
down
before
there?
you know it.
Are you sad that you picked the shortest month of the year to go
Well, I
on
mean, I do
sabbatical?
get 4 full weeks in Barbados, Brad, so I'm not missing much. And I found a new favorite drink that Raul makes me down at the bar.
What's Raul make you?
My pants.
All right. God bless, buddy.
God bless you guys. Adios. On delay.
All right, we'll check back on with you next week. Brian, how are you doing, buddy?
Yeah, I'm doing great.
Yeah,
I'm
how
not as
good
good
is-
as Rig, but
I mean, how was your weekend?
None of us ever get a 4-week sabbatical. Like, that's pretty
unheard of.
special.
And he
Yeah,
gets to keep his job, huh?
That's right. It's unbelievable.
Ironclad.
guys,
Yeah, Trace.
Oh.
I'm gonna be on sabbatical next week.
Where are you going?
Boy.
I'm going to sabbatical, New Zealand. Sabbatical, New Zealand.
I don't think you're doing this how.
Bobby, sabbatical Sabs. I kind of rigged it.
It's good. It's
Yeah.
good. Batical Sabs.
Sabbatical Sabs.
So in that one, there's 2 B's, and each side got 1 B.
Bring me Moshi Sabs.
Good. That's good.
March. See you guys.
Okay, see you in March.
Yeah. All right.
I'm sure that's the last we'll hear from her.
Guys, first Lovuary movie.
Could go on sabbatical.
She could do a
She
sabbatical.
could.
You could too,
She
pal.
could. Wow, that's
She could go on sabbatical. She literally does nothing now that Aaron produces the show.
What Trace, what do you do? So you guys know a little welcome area?
Yes.
Yeah.
Little break room.
I
we
don't
got
do
out there.
that.
okay.
Okay.
I can tell. Yeah.
Hey, you guys know your watch room?
Yeah.
Watch room. Yes. Yeah.
I don't do that.
Okay.
What else we got here? We got
Yeah.
a studio.
You guys know the studio?
I
Yes.
Yeah, I don't do that.
do. Oh.
Hey, you guys know the bathrooms?
Yes.
Yeah, I don't do that.
Okay.
You guys know the office across
I
the
think
hall?
we're good. Is there anything you do?
I don't do that.
Uh huh.
You guys know the elevator room that's
yeah.
locked?
Yep.
Should've
I
left
do
alone.
that.
Oh, that's why we don't know.
the elevator room.
I
in
ride the
our- in our
elevator up
office.
and down all day long.
Not
Just ride
weird
it?
that there's an elevator
I'm the
room.
elevator guy.
You're the really?
Girl.
What you
Girl.
say? What floor?
Yeah.
There
One
are
or
only
two.
what, 3 floors in this building, or 4? 3?
It-
2?
Two maybe. There might
It's
only be
two.
two.
2. And
It's
you ask
two.
what floor?
Yeah.
Are you a dummy?
No, they are.
They,
No.
yeah.
Whatever floor you're on, it's the other one.
So maybe they are the dummies for
I'm
telling
honestly
her.
not even getting paid for it. I just
Okay.
stand by the number. And they tell me.
All right, great.
Sometimes they tip me.
You should get tips for
Sometimes they don't.
Sometimes they tip you.
Yeah. Like, hey, it's going to rain later. The tip.
that. Sounds more like weather, but sure. Tip.
Well, maybe like a tip. Like, here's it. Like, it's going to.
Yeah, tip is, wear a coat would be a tip. It's going to rain later is not a tip. Here's a tip for you. It's going to rain later. It's not, you could have said anything.
It's tax season.
Good tip. That's good.
It's not.
Tips with Trace coming up.
Sweeter Than
next
Chocolate.
summer.
Sweeter Than Chocolate, everybody. Originally aired on February 4th. Can you believe it? 2023.
February.
And it went a little something like this. Lucy Sweet, that's her name, runs her
I don't get it.
family's chocolate shop. They're famous for their Cupid shuffle. No, the Cupid chocolate balls. They're gonna make you. They're gonna make you fall in love. Apparently, if you eat one, you fall in love. Her rent is about to go up a lot. The rent is too high, and she's getting pretty nervous about that. We meet a TV journalist. His name is Dean. Dean is what I would call a gotcha journalist. He does the zingers.
Gotcha?
Gotcha.
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 Gotcha?
Like a fisherman.
Gotcha.
Gotcha.
Like I gotcha.
Gotcha.
Got him.
Got
It's
him.
semantics.
Yeah. Words do matter, though.
In this room.
Right. And we're saying the same thing.
Can you get on with it?
You're saying
On the
gotcha. 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 I gotcha. I gotcha. Governor. Anyway.
Yeah. Anyway.
His boss wants him to do a sweet little story about the Cupid chocolates shuffle. So he shuffles down to the bakery and is almost hit by a car
hop this time.
driven by Lucy. When he gets to the store,
Ricky Ricardo?
what? No,
You said that like you got
Ricky
caught, like
Ricardo?
busted.
no. When he gets to the store, he tells her that he wants to do a story about that. Also, I think you're a con artist, basically. So she kicks him out. His boss is like, hey, you're up for becoming an anchor. And so I'm going to need you to be able to do the sweet stories so that I can go bring you to the board and be like, hey, look at this guy. He can do the gotcha and also the sweets. And so he's like, okay. So he goes back. He explains the situation. Hey, I will spotlight your con artist store, and in exchange, it'll be a sweet little story, and I can show my boss that I can do that. So she agrees, and she's very uncomfortable in front of the camera. But then he like turns off the camera, but then turns it back on and does the whole like. So just tell me about these pictures.
Well, gotcha.
She's a gotcha, gotcha. So
Gotcha.
it turns into a very sweet story, and his boss is like, I'm liking this. I'm liking this right here. How about we make it into a series, a love series, a love you, Aaron. And it's a bunch of stories about the people. They have like a wall of love at the chocolate store. And why don't you do some stories on those people? And so he's like, fine. So he asked Lucy to help him with this. Lucy's like,
Lucy.
Ricky?
Babaloo.
And
That's as much as we can do.
yeah,
Those
no
are
more.
The three
I think we've
words.
even done too much.
I think maybe Lucy twice and one
yes.
Babaloo is too much.
So she agrees to help him with this. They're not liking each other. They get into some hard-hitting conversations like, why are you such a cynic? And why don't you eat your own chocolate balls? And they keep hanging out. They keep telling the stories. Everything is going well. And then, obviously the corners are beginning to turn some corners when it comes to each other.
The corners are beginning to turn.
Yeah. And so they start liking each other.
Okay.
And she ends up going with him to.
You had it too.
You just
Really?
gave
Yeah.
up accompanying.
She
It
ends
sounded
up
good.
She ends up going to the company Valentine's party dance with him.
That's why we couldn't
and
continue.
and they dance They dance some more. Everyone goes home. They're still dancing. They're having a wonderful time. Guys, just eat the chocolate. And then what are we even doing here? What are we even doing here? It turns out that he is not just up for the anchor job here in this town of
West
WC.
Coast.
He's also up for a non-anchor job, but a job nonetheless in the big city of New York. Have you heard of it?
NYC.
NYC, concrete jungle where dreams are made of.
That's exactly right. His
can
dreams,
make
in
it there.
fact. And so he's like, hey, this is happening. I gotta. My boss wants to do a live hit from the chocolate store where we eat chocolate. But bad news. I got an interview in New York, but I think if I play my cards right, I can go to New York and make it back in time for the live hit. And she's like, you gotta do what you gotta do, Palerino. The chocolate shop is taking off. Orders are flooding in. And it all is just too much for her. She's like, there's too much going on. This is not what the Cupid Shuffle was all about. And so she like runs into the store and she's like, everybody leave. She has had a hard time with this whole love thing. The reason why she's never had one of her own Cupid balls is because her dad and her mom fell in love after consuming the chocolate balls, and then he ended up dying, and the mom was sad, and so she's like, it's not worth being sad just so that I can be in love for a while. But mom is nice enough to point out, hey, you're pretty much a sad sack of a human being, so might as well have love along the way. And she's like, well, slow it down. Guys, we're getting ready for the big live thing, and in comes our guy. He comes running in. Dean's like, hey, give me the thing. Give me my stuff. She walks in, she's got a dress on, and he's like, they go live, and he's like, hey, guess what? I really like you. And she's like, let's eat the real chocolate balls, not the fake ones. They eat them. They kiss big ones. Turns out he's going to stay right here in WC. And they're going to have
West
a wonderful
Coast.
time. Cut to them having one heck of a chocolate making time together, which leads to more kissing. The curtains close. And that, my friends, was Sweeter Than Chocolate.
We did it.
We did do it. We're going to take a quick break. We're going to come back. We're going to break this movie down here on
Deck
the Hallmark.
I did it again.
Yeah,
Just a little early.
it's okay. I was late. Bye-bye, we're back. Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Deck the Hallmark. We're talking about Sweeter Than Chocolate, the first movie of 4 in the Love You Airy series.
Yes.
Let's talk. Speaking of 4, we have 4 segments here on the podcast.
Wow, that's really nicely done
Thank
there,
you.
Bran.
Thank
It's
you.
good
We have 4
stuff.
segments here on the
You went to
pod.
transition camp last week.
Yes, I did.
And it went really well
It went
for you.
really well.
It did.
Yes, it did.
Yeah. Do you have a camp?
I have a clip.
You have a clip?
Hi, everybody. Hey.
Oh!
It's your professors, DJ Tammy.
Steve and Tammy are here to stay.
We are going to tell
anyway,
you
I don't-
that's rule number 1. Rule number 1. Use words like
Corners.
corners. That was weird. But yes, it was very helpful. Speaking of being very helpful, we have 4 segments to help us talk through this movie.
Man, it's really painful.
We're going to start with a hot take where we share exactly how we felt about this movie without delay. Let's start with you, Brian. Brian, what did you think about this movie, buddy?
Oh, man. The transition camp idea just kills me.
It's a great
Just
idea.
Brad hopping off a bus,
Just
his
like-
backpack on.
Just with a
Just want to learn how to segue better.
suitcase and a dream.
He's got his microphone in his hand.
That's right. Yeah.
Oh, man. All right. So back to this. Back to business.
Cut to
here.
Brian giving
Yeah.
his hot take.
Here we go. I like this one. This was right up my alley. A candy store, magic chocolate. The idea of like the bad guy, the jerk, who's his big thing is he's just skeptical. And so he's not, I like that idea, the skepticism thrown in there. I think that was a good idea, the way they did that. Unfortunately, there was a lot of shade thrown at milk chocolate in this movie, and it was offensive. Offensive. Okay.
You're mad
Erin
about the
is
milk
shaking her
chocolate
head.
shade.
The milk chocolate shade. I know that they're baiting people like me.
And it's working. You didn't go to transition camp.
I didn't go to transition
you don't
camp.
know.
I didn't go to how to take the high road camp.
Different camp.
Different camp.
Yeah.
Across the
either
lake.
one.
No one that's been to take the high road camp has ever been to transition camp.
Do we know that?
Yeah.
Wow.
Fun fact.
Man. Do they have a dance maybe at the end of the
It could.
So this one, the way that they were throwing shade at milk chocolate, and I know that they do it to like troll and bait, and I'm gonna take the high road. Speaking of high, what's the secret ingredient? MDMA in this chocolate. Because if you look at it through that lens throughout the movie, it's a different movie. So that was stuck in my head I got that stuck in my head, and I just kept thinking of that version of the movie and how funny that would be. That's like a sidebar. That's for the non-transition
for
camp,
later.
the other camp.
Yeah.
I did take away like a very sweet message from this, pun intended. Okay. When I was watching this, and I know this is probably more for me, my takeaway than they intended for the general public. But I took it as like, love is a muscle. It's like a muscle, or it's like the crystals in the chocolate. And it's not a destination, sort of like happiness. Like, oh, everybody's like, I want to be happy. I want to fall in
Crystals
love.
in the chocolate.
What are you talking about?
Talking about
Do you remember this
crystals.
part?
Yeah,
the
yeah, I
crystals
remember it. I
when
remember
you're
it.
tempering the chocolate.
Okay.
Yeah.
You have to
Okay.
you have to make the chocolate higher quality, better. The crystals melt.
Okay, go.
You cool down
Go,
the
go.
this is part of it.
I
This is
know.
part. So it's like a muscle. So you work it. It's not like you fall in love and you're there and that's the destination. It is a process. And when you struggle, when you're in a relationship or when you're in love, you work on it and it gets stronger and it gets better and better. And throughout this movie, there were situations where like, oh, the engaged couple, like, oh, we're in love, we're all set. And then they had that little thing with the texting, which I thought was really funny. Brand, what's going on over here?
Brand cannot.
You can't even hold it
contain
together.
himself.
So there was this thing that I took away from it, which was it takes work. And so you're never going to be in love. And just be
know that?
I know this.
Brian
but
just learned here in the year of our Lord 2023. We're just getting word.
Yep.
Love
Yep.
is a muscle. Back to
it's-
you, Brand.
That's right. And so it wasn't just, a lot of it, I'm saying it worked well together for me. And so I liked it. I liked the movie a lot. And the themes of all the different things going on work together. I feel like
Are you on? Are you? Is there something
did I take a
in-
Cupid?
Yeah.
So that's all. I liked it, and there were parts of it that really kind of landed really well for me. So
Yeah, clearly.
that's, So that's it for me.
Yeah.
From transition camp.
Yeah. I like this movie fine.
I'm sorry I'm late. How many times did Brand mention Cupid balls in the synopsis?
Quite a few.
Quite a few. I just want to make sure it got on there.
It's on delay.
Slide to the left. I'm out of here.
Yeah. I like this movie just fine. I'm a big Eloise Mumford fan, even bigger fan of her sons, and all around good time. I didn't learn any lessons, unfortunately. I don't think I've ever learned a lesson from one of these movies. I didn't even know that was the goal. But good to know Brian's over there learning lessons.
Brand and I live in a real world where you know that love is work and don't need a Hallmark movie to tell you at age 40.
But
Would have been good to know.
But I did have a fun time. I liked these two together. I thought that it was really fun. Steamies at the end. And magical chocolate balls that make people fall in love. Who's not here for that? Dan, sliding over to you.
Thanks, Bran. I did not learn a lesson, nor did I like the movie. Look, it's not good. They're very earnest. They have good chemistry. The chemistry between Dan Janote, where do we live?
It is Janot, yeah.
Dan Janot and Eloise Mumford is off the charts. But we've seen this movie before. The guy's baking the bread and it stops working because he's not putting love in it. The Kismet cookies with the thing. It doesn't work for me. It's not a bit that works for me. Never has. It's foggy on the details. But you know what? It did hit me. Maybe it was the Holy Spirit about an hour through. And I realized that love is work.
You got that too.
I got it too. I got it because I've known it.
Yeah.
This movie was not great, but it was the best of the year so far, which is not high praise by any stretch, but I think we'd all agree with that. Best of the year so far. Glacier National, Three Wedding Veils, this movie, those are your Dog Lover's Guide to Dating.
Yeah, best
those
movie
are your
of the year.
options. Yeah. This movie's the best by a long shot, but not good. So there you have it.
There you go.
Thumbs down. No
I heard that as a thumbs up. Guys, let's talk about all the feels. Brian, all the lessons you've learned. Surely there was a feel
There was
there,
there
correct?
was a few feels, actually.
Yeah?
A small handful of feels. I got fall feels when they were in the market with the wonderful leaves on the ground. That was very nice. There was a scene where Gary, the cameraman, came over shout out Gary, the cameraman, to Dean at the Valentine's Day gala, and he goes, his intro to get into the scene was, "Hey, hey, hey."
And I immediately said, what's going on here?
So that was a nice Saved by the Bell reference.
Yeah, of course.
And this was based on a book, which we all love. We love that. Written by Lizzie Shane. And did you know Lizzie Shane was a guest on the Hallmark Book Club podcast with Panda?
I did not know that.
How about that? So
You knew that, right, Brandon?
Yeah.
there's a bunch of those episodes still out there to listen to. Those,
all
Book
of them,
Club,
in fact.
find it right now.
So
Wherever
if
you
you're
listen
missing
to your podcast.
you're missing Panda, that's where you're gonna find him. In the past, he's not doing anything new.
Loves a muscle.
He's doing new
that's
stuff
the
in
thing.
his life, just not a podcast.
Yeah,
for it.
Nothing
Like,
new
don't-
though. He's doing the
don't
same
make
old
it-
stuff.
don't
Don't
make
make
it
it like he's dead.
sound
or
like
an
he's not
invalid.
doing
Well, he's doing
anything.
He's
stuff,
just in
but
an old folks
he's
home.
not doing anything
Which
new.
he is, but it's not like he's not doing anything in the old folks home.
But he's. We don't know. He's not doing anything though. He could be just the
No,
same.
he does bingo 2 nights a week. We know that for sure.
Yeah.
So is that it?
No, my last one was just the secret ingredient being bravery, because I can't think of another time where bravery was the secret ingredient. Usually it is love or something else, but bravery I thought was a good secret ingredient. That's all.
Wow. Is Brian still on the show, Brian?
For now.
He's learning lessons. Bravery is. an
I got to be
ingredient.
honest. Who's this guy? What's this guy's name? The Black
Dean?
Dahlia. What's the guy's name in real life?
Dan Gennati.
Dan
Gennat.
Yeah, Gennat.
Dan Gennat.
When Janat, after they kiss, it cuts to the baking. They're gonna bake in the back room, and and he walks behind her, and like grabs her from behind, and then they start like. Boy, howdy! I don't know. I assume I'd give it a week, maybe. My guy, they just got off TV. They just kissed for the first time, and he's walking behind her, grabbing her from behind, and baking with her. Yeah. If that didn't give you steamy feels, I literally don't know who you are, what planet you're from, because boy, howdy, Janat, yes, Dan.
He loves me, Dan Gennat. I will say the last scene of this movie, the chemistry is off the charts. Like very steamy scene to end this movie. And their chemistry is the only reason this movie even like holds together at all. So that would be my only feels. Yeah.
All right, let's learn a lesson from our next break. We're gonna come back. We're gonna break this video down with 2 more segments here on Deck the Hallmark. We're back. Hello.
To have a 5th segment, just greeting card feels with Brian, where he like works through like
Just
basic human
emotion and social interaction skill. Yeah.
I found out in this movie that you're supposed to say hi to people when you see them.
Greet them. It's called a greeting.
It's like
greeting.
love's like mutual, like you do
back,
things for
give
other
and take.
people.
Yeah.
Hi everybody, welcome back to Deck the Hallmark. It's a good day. It's a Tuesday. We're talking about the new movie of the week, Sweeter Than Chocolate. We are at the wait what part of the show. We're talking about what in this movie made us go wait what. And I'll start with you, Brian. Brian, what are you waiting and what are you wanting?
So the mother says the line, no one over 30 prefers milk chocolate. And again, and Janat's character Dean
Says over 20.
Over 20. So
Yeah.
they're just real like twisting the knife on this. It's like what?
As I'm literally eating Hershey Kisses.
Yes. Dude, one of my favorite chocolates is a Hershey Kiss. Like I just
that bag's gone, by the way.
oh man. Hear that, Sheila? That bag is gone.
Thanks, Sheila, for all that you send us.
Yeah, absolutely. It's too much.
Do
Also,
you prefer milk chocolate over
dark chocolate?
dark chocolate?
Yeah.
Really?
Generally, yeah. I mean, dark chocolate's great. It's delicious and all that. But if you put, one of each in front of me, I'm taking milk chocolate first.
I'm
Interesting.
honestly exclusively milk chocolate.
Yeah, of course you are.
I mean,
Anything that is the slightest bitter taste, you're out on. Is this beer 4.2% ABV? Bleh. It's so bitter.
Once the beer moves out of the root territory, I'm out.
Why is this beer not cider?
True.
But the Cupids in real life, the real candy,
The Cupid balls?
yeah, they're made by what is it called? Bezingers or Bissingers in St. Louis.
Bissingers.
Bissingers.
I've been several
I
times.
bet they are in real life milk chocolate.
Yeah.
And so the fact
They're
just
wonderful too.
Yeah, I
a
was
sponsor
gonna.
a couple years ago?
Were they?
No,
Oh,
different.
that would have been great. I was gonna make some. I did not have all the ingredients, and I did not have time this weekend.
Maybe it was
to do
Bissingers.
it. Really? Can we?
Maybe it
Just
was.
continue.
Just keep going.
So the fact that they were really milk chocolate and they just were digging at the dark chocolate was like which milk chocolate hurt the
It was a
screenwriters.
weird joke to bring back twice.
Yeah.
Like to bring back twice and to have different ages and to make fun
Yes.
of milk. Like I thought it was a weird joke. I prefer dark chocolate if I'm going to eat chocolate, unless it's
Sure.
a Reese cup, which chocolate's just holding that peanut butter
Yeah,
in there.
absolutely.
Let's be honest.
Absolutely.
But I thought it was a weird joke.
Yeah.
People all over the world love milk chocolate.
Absolutely. It's
Like
delicious.
ask the Hershey's candy bar company. They don't just make money off of people under 20 years old.
We have them on the line.
Dan Hershey, are you there? Dan,
Yeah.
can you confirm nor deny or deny?
Yes.
Confirm or deny the fact that people over 20 don't like milk chocolate.
Interesting question. It all happened in the cornfields in 1974. I saw a light. It came closer. It sat
mistake.
down.
This is not about
I went
big
into
mistake.
the
the last time we had him
UFO.
on, he did the same thing.
I went into
we
the
do not
UFO.
need to hear about your UFO experience.
Well, I was
That is
abducted.
that's not the
I
question.
was abducted, Dan.
I did not ask if you were abducted.
You
You
did.
can tell I didn't.
Take it to the tape.
Confirm or deny.
Take it to the tape.
Milk chocolate under 20 only. That's all I asked you.
Good question. It all happened back in 1974 at cornfields.
Let me try this version.
Go ahead.
Dan, Bran, are you there?
Yes.
Okay, good. Are you want to ask a question? You want to let me go ahead?
I'll let you go.
Okay. Dan, have you ever been abducted?
Milk chocolate is fine for most people.
Thought that would get it done.
So
Great.
That
See,
was well
we
done. That was
confirmed
well
it.
played.
yeah, I'm glad we figured that out. The hot chocolate.
It was the messenger they did sponsor.
No, it was Bisson.
They had a
Wow.
Hallmark advent calendar.
That's right.
Oh, that's very cool.
Yeah.
So it's good
So
stuff.
I bet
then.
they've been sponsored. They're sponsoring the Hallmark too. That's happening. Yeah.
That's great. Good for them.
Good for them.
The hot chocolate cart down by the quote unquote river walk, where they tucked the hot chocolate cart into the darkest, creepiest corner of the walk that they could, which I feel like we've seen in
Come
like
get murdered. Have
Yeah,
a cup
exactly.
of hot cocoa.
I feel like as soon as the characters moved out of the scene, the forensic files just move right in, or cold case or whatever like true crime show was being filmed at that same spot. Lucy Sweet said that. All right, this gets complicated, and it's like not a hot button issue, but I know Alonzo was screaming at his TV over this little fact.
Okay.
Lucy Sweet says the cocoa beans she uses are a blend that she creates from Ecuadorian and Argentinian beans. I think what she meant was cacao beans, because they're two different. They're sort of. There's an argument there, right? Where the cacao is like the seed. Cacao is the seed, the bean in its rawest form, and cocoa typically is like the powder, the processed
Correct.
cocoa powder. In this movie, I'm going
She's
to.
not even in this movie.
Okay.
Krakow.
Yeah, crack house.
No, that's really good. It's good stuff.
That's great.
Aaron Krakow.
So I assume, so everybody's working on the same level, that when she says cocoa beans, she's talking about cacao, cocoa, whatever the raw form is, not the powder at all. Just to clear that up, because when you say cocoa, I assume the powder. Anyway,
You want to push up your glasses while you give us
Oh,
a
man.
fun
It's
fact?
gonna
Brian's
get
have
worse.
Brian has a tight 90-minute presentation. There's no PowerPoint. It's one of those felt boards that he flips over. It's got all the information you could need on chocolate
So-
in its many forms:
Yep.
beans, seeds,
right.
milk.
That's all there is.
Otherwise-
They're just beans and
Yeah,
seeds.
that's only on the that's only on Bramble Jam Plus.
That's right. You
though.
gotta subscribe
That's
for
a
this.
very high level.
So she's using them synonymously. We have to assume that. Unfortunately, when she bought her beans in the market earlier in the movie, the sign on the stand said Venezuelan cocoa seeds, not Argentina, not Ecuador.
Yep.
So hopefully
That's a problem.
Yeah, that's
why name two countries if it's if one of them isn't going to be where you're going to
so
buy
maybe
from?
they're in the back of the cart,
Yeah.
but that was one that just you can't do that. And it looks like she also bought them 1 pound at a time.
Still cocoa beans, huh?
Yes, still in the beans. But the last one, and this is a big one, and this one sort of shattered. I still like the movie, but it sort of shattered the whole plot of the movie.
Uh-oh.
Okay. At one point, she's looking at her yearly spreadsheet. Back to the spreadsheets. She's on the screen. They show her yearly annual budget, right, with figures, with numbers.
Oh, no.
And so
I did not read these.
Well, somebody did. So you just sit right there and get ready here with Mr. Math over here. I did the math. You don't have to do it. Unfortunately, so she revealed what she said was her rent was increasing 62% every month. On the spreadsheet, her total rent was $60,000 for the year.
So $5,000 a month.
Okay.
So $5,000 a month.
That's right.
62% of that, add $3,100 a month. So it's going up to $8,100 a month.
Correct.
So this is what we have for total income for the year: $414,000. Fixed expenses $280,000. Variable expenses $15,000. So her income minus expenses, her profit for the year $116,000.
Yeah.
Okay. Her rent.
You didn't want to give us a graph so we could put it for the fine people on Philo?
I have the picture. We should have done this in show prep.
If you're watching on Philo, you're going to see Brandon and I just try not to fall asleep. But go ahead.
So it's an additional $37,200 a year, which would bring her profit down to $79,000, which is still a margin she could absorb.
Yes.
So her rent increasing is not putting her out of business. Is the point of it? She can absorb that. It's a hit, but she's still profiting, assuming that in her spreadsheet there, her salary
and things have gone through the roof.
Absolutely.
I think it depends, Brian, because Dan and I talked about this. What she says
is absurd.
What she says is that her rent is going to go up 62% every month.
Yes.
That's what
now,
she
if
says.
she's getting a 60% increase
you mean
month upon month,
then she's over
then we have a problem.
$1 million a month.
Then we have a problem.
In the letter, it says 62 a month based on the. It doesn't say anything about like increasing each month.
You paused and read the letter as well.
I have a picture of it too, of course.
It's going to take you 4 hours to
It took me a long time to watch this movie. I stopped and watched videos on chocolate making process.
This is why you can only do one a week. It's because we literally 2 would just bankrupt.
I was exhausted after. You should have seen.
Brian was Google searching "Ken Love work" with one person doing all the work.
Oh man, I had a therapy call halfway through.
Work?
Is love real? So
what is love?
So
I watched Night of the Roxbury. It was the whole thing.
The whole thing.
That was but I just don't think it wouldn't have crushed her business. Is the point?
If it's a 62% increase in her profit margin was that, it would not. I would still be looking for somewhere else to go if someone told me the rent was going up 62%.
Yeah, step one, start searching for a new lease.
Immediately.
Yeah.
Immediately.
Yeah.
Well, step one, you say we need to talk.
Yeah.
You walk, sit down,
just to talk.
Yeah.
You smile politely
Back
right on
at you.
through.
Smile politely back at you.
You
stare politely right on through.
There's
Some sort of window to the right.
But after that,
he goes left and you stay right.
That's right.
Between the lines.
then you look up the leases.
Is that it?
Yeah.
Where'd you go wrong?
I lost a friend. You might be wondering where. Somewhere along
in the bitterness.
In the bitterness.
I'd have stayed up with you all night.
Really?
Yeah. Had I known.
What?
I was able to.
I got a couple. They're in the back working on chocolate, and you hear someone walk in and just go, "Hello!"
In
a panic.
It sounds like it is not.
Did
okay.
someone walk in from an accident? Someone call someone. I need help now.
Nice Jimmy Stewart over there.
Of all the ADR takes to go with you and with hello. Is anyone there? Guys, I appreciate we're filming for TV. I appreciate we're gonna put the little overlay onto the shot to show you that this is a camera. Got little fun things and
battery
whatnot.
power.
Of course.
Now I do want to give a shout out to this card that they're recording to, that has 85 minutes left on the card and has been recording over 15 hours of footage.
Yeah.
That card is massive.
It's a big card.
Or just really bad quality video. They would be shocked when they go to the old post-production room. They go to this Valentine's dance ball for the company, and they're getting ready to dance. Slow song comes on. She's got this sparkly sack that she's been holding around, and they're talking to a friend of his from the company.
Dean.
Dean's talking to his
cameraman,
his
right?
friend. Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's like, hey, we're going to go dance. Can you hold my sparkly sack? And they hand it to the guy. They go off to dance, and then they dance the rest of the night. That I can only imagine that poor guy. Yeah. How long do you think that guy stood there holding it? So they're gonna do another song, okay? Everyone's going. Where do you want me to leave it? Poor guy was just stuck holding that the rest of the night.
Always the bridesmaid dress.
Yeah.
Right.
So she wakes up and she has over 700 orders.
Yeah, almost 800.
Almost 800.
Yeah.
Yep.
And I would say that is when you go into the office that day, that is an inopportune time to leave, to just have a what's going on with your life conversation on a bench.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Not the best time.
No.
The best time. You got almost 800 orders to fill. Dean walks in, you say, hey, Dean, just send it in a note or something like that. We'll talk. I got 800 orders to fulfill, Dean. Can't go walking and talking on a bench. Speaking of this day, 800 orders, the store is also still packed with people that for some reason are holding their cash and waving it in the air.
Everyone has one cash to
as
hold.
if it's like an auction system.
Yes.
I've got one Cupid ball. Do I get five? Do I get 10? Like, what's going What is going? Why are you guys holding?
Everyone was given exactly one cash to hold. Everyone's got one up in the air. Everyone.
Hey, me.
Like everyone pays in cash. You know how it goes.
Last but not least, I want to give a shout out to this guy just decided I'm not going to take the job in the big city. He goes to do the live hits at the store. He picks up the mic, and on this mic is the saddest looking logo square. You know how on the
really
news
bad.
they had the square around the microphone with the logo? This looked like it was a wooden block around it with like the smallest little logo I've ever seen in my life. And it's at that point where I look at that and I go, should have taken the New York job.
That's right.
Yeah.
Should have gone with them.
Here's your sign.
Should have gone with New York. There's only so much you can do here, unfortunately. Dano?
I don't know if he should take the New York job because News 55 is a local news channel that owns an entire skyscraper. Guys, I don't know if you know this, but local news stations don't own much office space.
But they have
anymore.
Valentine's galas, right?
They do hold company dances. This is a news station that owns an entire not one floor, an entire skyscraper, and throws company events where they encourage their employees to dance together. I don't know about that company. I also have another question about the company, which is this: are they bad at their job? Because we find out the day of the live one that they're going to do that they have lost all of the footage. The reason they need to do this interview with the mom, right?
Yeah.
That Eloise Mumford's like, Mom, I don't want you interviewing it because like Eloise Mumford's upset because she thinks her mom's been miserable because the love of her life died. And then her mom gets to give this sweet story about blah, blah, blah. Like I would have rather loved and lost than not loved at all. And the reason that they have to do that, and I want to be clear, is that according to this dude from the news station, all of the footage that they've shot of all of these people telling their stories about the Cupid balls.
I think just the last one.
It's just the last one?
Yeah.
Okay.
Because they've been doing it every day leading up to it.
Right.
But they've lost it.
They lost it.
Technical
just
issue,
bad.
yeah.
It's a technical issue.
Hey, we've been there.
Yeah, we would never.
Not today, at least.
At the most, these Cupid chocolates have caused 40 couples to fall in love. For like the best we can fathom of all the stories we could gather, I doubled it. 40, and they're selling hundreds of these a day.
Well, they just started selling the balls.
Well, they're selling hundreds a day, and they make it clear that it takes an open mind. It's not like there's some secret potion for the chocolate. The chocolates are made like chocolates are made. You have to have some bravery or an open mind. So why is she never wanting to try one? Like if all you have to do is be like, these are stupid, who cares?
That's true.
Like clearly people are buying these not just to fall in love. Well, what's the deal with the aversion to What's the deal with the aversion to these chocolates? Just eat them. I don't like
Just to be safe.
See what
Just
the big
better
deal
safe
is.
than sorry.
Yeah. Mom is looking at places to rent that cost $7,000 a month.
Really? I didn't
Why?
catch that.
Yes, like not like in the big
this
city,
economy?
like houses out in the town. Like in small town, there's no way one ranch house is costing you $7,000 a month to
We
rent.
looked at Denver, Colorado.
We went to
and
Denver, Colorado, just to look. We were like, that real estate market's crazy, and the houses there, we found one near that.
Yeah.
I mean, this is pages and pages of $6,000-$7,000 a month houses, which is insane. She walks in.
Maybe the whole town's going up 62%.
Yeah, maybe the whole
Sounds like-
and that wouldn't even make it happen. But
No.
she walks in and the chocolate shop is bumping, like just crazy. And she's like, "Why are there so many people in here?" And her mom says, "News 55 released the ad for the live feed." So the reason that the chocolate shop is wall to wall with people is because they saw a commercial that tomorrow they would be live from the chocolate shop.
We got tomorrow's newspaper today.
So all of these like pieces they've done haven't brought crowds like this. But they see an ad that it's going to be live tomorrow, so they have to go and get in a long line today.
Yeah.
Maybe no one watches the local news, but maybe the commercial aired during like Monday Night
But
Football.
so no one saw any of these pieces, and then they just saw this one ad, and they're like, "We got to get down there ASAP."
Yeah.
It didn't make any sense at all.
I don't watch the local channels for anything other than sports. It's possible if it ran during the right thing. Hawk Law.
So they've missed everything else beforehand. And even if you've missed everything, this chocolate company is going live tomorrow. It's not enough to get you to the store, right?
It's a weird thing.
That's a weird bit.
Yeah.
That's all I got.
It's time for What the Hallmark is part of the show. We wonder what could have been, maybe things included we still have. Brian, what are you still wondering about, buddy?
Yeah, something I was wondering about was, again, back to the cacao/cocoa beans. So they're
Chocolate.
she leaves at one point. She has to leave her store because she's running low on cocoa beans. She says so. She's gonna run out and get some more, and I have to like a place like that. I assume they would get raw beans.
Yeah.
And do the whole process themselves because they want control, stem to stern, if you will,
Stem to stern.
of the
Sure,
chocolate
yeah.
process. But it seems like she's just running out and grabbing like roasted cocoa beans off the shelf for her chocolate. And it just didn't. I wish they picked a different ingredient. Why would she? They're making their own chocolates start to finish, right? I guess that's my question because it didn't make sense that she would run out and buy raw beans because it would take too long to make the chocolate from them. So she has to be buying roasted beans, right?
So
It
now
just-
we were dealing with some serious inconsistencies.
I would say that's a little bit of an inconsistency or a problem.
sure.
There's a problem there. So we're just wondering what up with that.
What up with that?
What up with that?
You mentioned it, Brian, but there is a coffee cart on a weird path
Yep.
in the middle of the woods where there's like just strings of like lights
Yep.
that on one side are all white, but in the trees they're all red, which it took me a second to realize why they would all be red. I was like, is this like blood? But no, Valentine's Day, I got it. But this coffee cart, the path is not big.
No.
So like it's like enough. It's like imagine, Dan, if you're like going for a run on the Swamp Rabbit Trail and there's a coffee cart on the trail.
Yeah.
Like you got a picture of it. That's
Minuscule.
you can barely walk by that thing.
Barely. Hardly get by that.
That
It's
is-
taking
No
up the path.
And like, how did he get there? What's that guy's deal? How did he get there?
Yep.
What's his deal? Who approved this? Lots
Yeah,
of
does he
questions.
have a permit? for
Does he have a,
this?
does he have a permit?
I don't see one
Great
in this
question.
picture.
Man,
Great
we
question.
could have had more permits
Yeah.
in this movie.
Boy.
Dan?
What a missed opportunity. Yeah, so my question is that the mom tells this story about falling in love with Eloise Mumford's dad and then him passing away and her not regretting any of it. And Eloise Mumford's whole thing is if this chocolate really works, like I don't want to be in that situation.
Mm-hmm.
Can her mom fall in love again?
Ooh, good question.
Can she? Does she want to? Is she pursuing that, or is she willing to be open to that, or is it a my long lost love is gone and never again?
Was it me or did it seem like there was a glimmer of a part of a scene where she and the cameraman
Yep.
were kind of
Very
doing a
briefly,
thing?
looked like some
Yeah.
sparks there. Yeah, for sure.
I lost all the footage, but I found you.
Oh,
I found love in a hopeless place.
wow.
Yep.
Interesting.
Guys, we did everybody. Congratulations. First Lovuary movie in the books. And that leads us to another book entry of Double Decker of the Week.
Double Decker of the Week.
Oh my God.
Wow. New year, same us, same Double Decker of the Week. BrambleJamPlus.com. Deck the Hallmark Plus tier or higher. Panda's fighting somebody over here.
Guys, you know what? I'm fighting the old me.
Do you know what else?
New me, new look.
That's right. Die to self, Panda.
Same
Don't
look.
fight it. Just die to it.
No.
Some kind of zombie.
New me.
Here's the thing: is this week's Double Decker is the best dressed Double Decker.
Oh my goodness.
You know who it is?
Exactly who it is.
It's Chad Maurice.
Oh my gosh. Yeah,
I mean,
Chad.
nary a day goes by without tie, suspender, and hat. I mean, I'm just saying.
I want to be Chad when I grow up.
I mean, we all
What
do.
a style. What a
We all
style.
do.
What a look.
Chad Maurice, our Double Decker. of the
I don't
week.
know what else I could possibly need to know about Chad.
I mean,
but
yes.
I feel like I know a good bit, but what do you got?
I mean, just a man of many talents. I think we can all agree about that. The other thing is that you don't know about him really into ham radios, and it's just a wonder. I mean, he's so good at it. He takes the ham, sticks a radio component in it. It's wonderful every single time. He gave me a gift of it.
So it's like a honey baked ham.
Yep, shoves a radio right in there. It's a ham radio.
What does that do for the radio?
Oh, the reception
It
out of
enhances it.
control. It does smell a little strange after a while.
Now, I want to make sure I have this right, Tracy. You said we have a clip of listening to one of our radio sponsors, WELK, which is Welk. I don't know why. And we have a snippet of them outside of the ham radio and then the same snippet in the ham radio.
yes,
Okay. Well, how did you get that, first of all?
you know.
Okay. All right.
WELK, the
Piano.
friend. Hey, everybody, it's me, Tony.
I'm Dale.
And this is our show.
Cool breeze.
Welcome. And now here's inside the ham. WELK.
Piano.
Well, hey, everybody, my name is Tony.
And this is Dale.
And this is our show.
Cool breeze.
Cool breeze.
That is better.
Wow. And there's a third person. Man, that ham radio is
Ham
going to take
radio
off.
enhances. It's stuff you could never
It's
hear normally.
unbelievable.
Deck the Hallmark through the ham radio.
Oh,
Unparalleled.
man. Yeah, we're not even a
Unparalleled.
radio station. That would be unbelievable.
But we are on a lot of radio stations.
Yeah. A ton of them. So, we've been calling them out all year.
All year. That's exactly right. Well, congratulations, Chad. That sounds like a great
Phew.
business
Good for you.
Well, back to you guys. Fantastic. Thanks, Panda.
that's good stuff.
A quick reminder, don't listen to us on the ham radio. Watch us on the Philo. If you were looking for a way to watch this and see Brian do what he did all episode, philo.tv/DTH to watch us. That's the best way to do it. Ham radio, close second. Close second. We'll be back next time with another one. Until then, remember first to wish you a Merry Christmas.
Deck the Hallmark is a Bramble Jam podcast. It's produced by Aaron Shea. What? For more information on Deck the Hallmark, you can go to deckthehallmark.com. For more information on the Deck the Hallmark family, you can go to BrambleJamPlus.com. Deck the Hallmark is presented by Philo TV. For a free trial of Philo, go to philo.tv/DTH.